gimmicks with this, okay? Now what's left on them? Told you I'ma flex on them. I did it all subtle, ooh, and then I hit that exit on them. Gotta blame my faith, cause these eyes ain't got nothing on them. I secured the safe for the cradle, I ain't dropping nothing, ooh. Only winning is exception, ain't no truce. Ain't no dub, ain't no L on my crew, ooh. Only winning is exception on my crew, yeah. Ain't no dub, ain't no L. I use a dub, I'ma win, I won't lose with this, ayy. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this, ayy. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Okay, yeah. Then I hit that. Okay, yeah. Then I hit that.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Washington football team. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from FedEx Field.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
On first down, Allen. And right away, he lost the football. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on second and long. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon, and he powers his way up past the 30.
Joe Mixon, the ball carrier.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against.
Third and long. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Man, it's Ross, complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 10, right at the 40. From the gun to give to Mixon. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
When
we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On second and 9, Allen. He finds his running back, Mixon. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and just like that, it's third down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Throwing is Allen on third. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Austin Seibert on for the field goal. A 54-yard attempt.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Touchdown, Cincinnati.
From 19 yards away. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
He was brought down at the
I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays. But you also have to have good feel as well, because you can't see everything out there. See the play unfold, feel what's going on, and then get to the right spot and make your own play. And in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. They go play action with Eason. Slings this deep from McLaurin. It's caught inside the 25. Big yardage that time for Washington. 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Here's Eason to throw. Eason gets hit, and the ball pops free. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you a point, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from...
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30. Past the 20. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf.
62 yards.
A big play there for Cincinnati. 62 yards on the ground. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On play action, Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
5-yard pickup on the play. And
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Cincinnati
taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, they're stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Gonna give this time to the tailback. That one good for 12 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Here's a quick throw out left. It's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
First and 10.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it's going to yield a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Now Eason. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a pick. And that'll set up a third down. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on fourth and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
They're going to try and throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
It's a pickup of...
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he is going to be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bengals 32. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
At the 32-yard line.
First and 10, Eason. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And his throw is incomplete.
From the snap, he's... certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Allen. His throw incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
third down. Allen. Open man is Ross, complete. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Touchdown, Cincinnati.
John Ross, 66 yards. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not at that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Number 20, the ball carrier. DJ Reader brought him down. It's a gain of 3.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
So after the INT, it's Allen. And this would complete to Will Fuller. And finally out of bounds just inside the 10. A big play there for the Bengals. 46 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. This will be caught at about the 5. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Mixon trying to punch it in. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Taking it in from 2 yards out. And this offense continues to pour it on. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good.
36.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Eason off the play fake. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Eason going to throw it out of the shotgun. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls. Mike 55, Mike 55. They can't hang with us. Mike 50. 18 rattle, 18 rattle. I don't think you got it, sir. Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55. Come on. You better bring it. 55's Mike, Mike 55. 19 tight, 19 tight.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
By the offense.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
56, 56. Hey, watch it, watch it. 56 to Mike. 56.
Operating from the gun. Allen, he's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Intended for John Ross. Incomplete. Kendall Fuller there on the coverage.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And now it looked like movement up front. If that's the case, that might end any thought of a field goal. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. The punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They'll start the 3rd quarter here on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
From the gun is Eason. And he finds McLaurin. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A 1st down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Eason. Now they go screen. It's complete. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the gun, Eason. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 32-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Allen. Going to throw right side here, complete. His 2nd catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his 1st. And it'll bring up 3rd down now.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged.
That's caught at the 25.
That's all you got.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And this offense is running away with this one. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that will extend this big lead.
3.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit. How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down.
43-yard line.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap, and I believe this is going to be on Washington. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Anthony Brown there on the tackle. Still 15 yards to go, 2nd down.
At the 38-yard line.
Eason sets to throw it. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 16 yards, a 1st down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Play action. It's Eason.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
At the 46-yard line.
2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener. Now a handoff looking right. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down. Throwing is Eason. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 31 yards. And Washington able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. So they get one score back, but still a long ways to go here in this 3rd quarter.
Bengals 43, Washington.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. A quick throw out wide to Fuller. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's the option. Quick throw here by Allen, complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Will Fuller 56 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
2nd and a yard.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And some room to work. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. 69 yards. And Washington able to get a score back.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Allen. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it, and he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown.
Washington.
This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Operating from the gun, Allen going deep downfield for Ross. It's caught inside the 25. And he will take it on in. in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
His kick is good.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line and ready to roll. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now here's a throw that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 15 yards the pickup, first down Washington. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Off the play fake, Eason. That one is slant to McLaurin. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
First down.
A handoff as they run the counter play. Taking it right down Broadway. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
The kicker on.
A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And Washington able to close the gap just a bit.
It is good.
And this one through the uprights and good.
Bengals 57, Washington 31.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say to me? We discussed when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter.
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 8.
56. Mike, 56, right there, 56. They're not real, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
On play action, Allen. Flushed out right. And I think the ball's out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And we know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
7 yards, the pickup there.
line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And 5.
Washington on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5.
Check 55. Come on. Let him know.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you. Mike 55, Mike 55.
They're going on 4th down. Here's Eason going for it all. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
And that'll make this a 19-point game.
Makes the score Bengals 57, Washington 38.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. From the gun, Allen going deep downfield for Ross. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a 1st down. Roughing, it is a 1st.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Mixon on the toss right. And he stopped immediately there. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Going deep downfield for Ross. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it all the way down to the 3.
First and goal.
Continuing to keep their foot on the gas, and it looks like they're just having fun out there. They're loose, they're free, and they're enjoying what the scoreboard looks like.
I'd have to say I agree with you totally. They're having a blast out there all game long when they throw the football.
They're picking up nice chunks of real estate, significant yardage on just about every throw that they make. And there's another one there, and they continue to have that fun that you just talked about.
And goal at the 5-yard line.
So Allen's going to look to throw. Dancing to his left toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Well, let's see where they turn on 3rd and goal from the 5. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
It's now 4th and goal.
They'll run with Mixon. He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, but now I'm listening to you. So for Cincinnati, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Washington, they obviously